Hello, Collective. Tarot.flo here. So, I just want to talk a little bit about religion. And for most people that are on a spiritual path, sometimes they think that they have to pull away from their religion or from the old belief systems. For everybody, it's different. Some people, they become upset about the conditioning. Most religions are institutionalized and is only for one common goal, which is normally fear or, control. When you come onto a spiritual journey, a lot of people do leave their religion behind or they start to move away from it. However, once you become more attuned to your spiritual path, you might be called to use religion as part of your spiritual practice. And this is not a bad thing. It's not a good thing. It's not, for everybody it's different, and you have to do what feels right to you. You have to follow your intuition. Most especially culturally, you probably are not religious or go to church or go to the mosque or the temples or whatever it is. However, your family tradition, your family culture probably does things based on, generations of doing the same thing. And this is for a lot of people who live here in America and you have parents or other relatives that are immigrants and live in other countries. So then it's important for you to stick to that tradition, especially if you're communicating with your ancestors. No matter if you still live in America, if you go back to your home country, whatever it is, the majority of the time, your ancestors want you to continue their practices, okay? So it's going to be really important for you to just use your discernment, use your intuition, and ask your team what is best for you, right? Because a lot of people think that at one point they used to be Christian and now they're on a spiritual journey and they just completely gave up the crosses and the Bible and all of that. For a lot of people, that's not the case. There are spiritual people who use the Bible, and they don't use the Bible as part of Christianity. They use the Bible to help them in their spiritual practice with teachings, especially with Psalms. If you're not familiar, the spiritual community uses the book of Psalms to help with healing. They help with abundance spells. They help with protection, banishing negative energies, entities, that type of thing, And especially now that we're in the age of Aquarius, this is the age of information, right? So a lot of people who are in a spiritual journey, they start studying other religions, even other religions that they may not have practiced or been aware of or, engaged in. But for them to get an overall better understanding, they have found themselves researching even demonology, necromancy, the Kabbalah, all these things that, they all apply because religion to some extent is a spiritual journey. And like they all say, it's all the same journey, just a different, it's different journeys, but the same destination. So no matter what you practice, no matter what you believe in, it's still bringing you to have a connection or to merge with source or or a higher power, right? So this is just to say that no matter if you were, if you believed in a religion before you became spiritual, that does not mean that you have to drop your religion now as you are on your spiritual journey. That's totally up to you. And if you were on a religious path before your spiritual journey and you want to get away from it, that's totally up to you too. That's exactly what I did. I was raised Catholic. My mother's Filipino. It's majority Catholic in the Philippines. So as I got older, I got away from the Catholicism and away from the church. However, in my spiritual practice, I do have ancestors, even far off ancient ancestors, that still believe in certain concepts of the Bible and stuff like that. So you do what feels right to you, and you do what your ancestors feel is best for you. Stay on your path and don't let anybody try to tell you any different. Bye.